Kein Amulett?
My dad said he disappeared when we came back from the past. What happened to him?
Nobody knows. As far as I remember, he tried to grab the chronometer from you, then in a flash of light, he was gone. There hasn't been a trace of him, or the device, since.
Is there a chance he still has it? Is he back in time right now, messing things up even more?
It's doubtful. From what we understand from Dr. B's notes, once a chronometer has been synced to an individual's life force, it can prove disastrous to anyone else who tries to meddle with it.
So, Dr. B, she's really...
Yes. Unfortunately, she remains dead. When you reappeared without the chronometer, we lost the ability to go back and fix things, including the terrible things I may have said or done while under his control. I'm so sorry. Can you ever forgive me?
Nie. Natürlich.
Of course I can. You weren't
Kann ja
you.
nix
I can
dafür.
only imagine what it would have been like to be under that creep spell.
Thank you, Lil.
And can you forgive me, Your Majesty, for forgetting to tell you how grateful we are, allowing me to return to my post, and for personally taking such good care of Lil this week?
Of course, Hamish. But the Sprawl is grateful to your daughter, Lil, for all she has sacrificed to save it.
But the war! Has it changed? Tyrone said that he was going back to kill Chuck and...
Chuck is alive and well, thanks to you. And we still lost the war. But with Tyronius missing, things seem to have taken a turn for the better. We are still not out of the woods, but the worst is behind us.
Ja, hat alles schlimmer gemacht. Irgendwie habe ich das geahnt, dass alles schlimmer machen wird.
The Mages Guild has scattered. We discovered that some of the more loyal mages to Tyronius were supporting the enemy army with magic. But without this advantage, they were incapable of delivering a fatal blow to our fair city. The enemy is still there, just outside the walls, and months of negotiations are ahead, but hopefully I can avoid any further bloodshed.
Well, that's good news at least. So, what now?
What do you mean, what now?
Well, do you need me to unmask a goblin spy? Work the night shift? Harass any of your advisors?
Lil, don't you get it? It's over! You don't have to do any of that anymore. Let the grown-ups do their jobs. Besides, I don't want you to be a guardsman anymore. I'd like you to just be my friend.
Yay, wir sind mit der Prinzessin befreundet.
That sounds good to me.
Join me at the palace once you're feeling up to it. I'll have the kitchen cook up some tacos.
Oh,
Finally!
ich hätte jetzt auch Bock auf Tacos.
Talk about fancy friends. She seems nice. I'd love to spend the day with you, but I've got a shift down at the guard shed. You can do whatever you want. Chill. Go play. Have that childhood you keep talking about. Or, join me for another shift.
WTF.
Well, one more shift couldn't hurt, could it?
Wir haben das Spiel durch. Oh, es war aber stellenweise echt lustig, geil. Ich wünsche mir einen zweiten Teil irgendwie.
Without the burden of Tyronius's amulet affecting her judgment, Desdemona became the strong ruler the Sprawl needed to negotiate its surrender and lead the subsequent peace talks. She was able to win a number of concessions from the enemy that allowed the Sprawl to retain some of its freedom under occupation. As it happens, in secret, a certain hooded figure leads a growing resistance that will one day overthrow the occupiers. Desdemona and Chuck's marriage was, unfortunately, no match for the pressures put on them by the Sprawl's defeat. The divorce was as amicable as any royal divorce could be. A source in the palace shared that the two remain friends.
Ist ja auch geil.
When the sprawl fell to the enemy forces, the occupiers' hatred and intolerance towards non-human races took greater root in the city. This forced many underground, which, if you were a mole person, is no big deal. Not great for the others, though. The Goblin Liberation Army continued meeting in secret and has become an instrumental part of the insurgency movement against the Sprawl's occupying forces. On the final day of the war, a power-hungry Tyronius used the wicket on his 3 rival advisors. Thankfully, he was confused by the contraption and accidentally denied them instead of sending them to the dungeon. Ousted, they walked to the nearest tavern outside of the sprawl and began to plot how to overthrow Tyronius and save the queen. It wouldn't be necessary in the end, as Lil did their jobs for them, again, but the act of plotting over drinks really brought the trio together. After the fall of the sprawl, Councilwoman Ash was enlisted by the enemy to be their intermediary to the Queen. The occupiers saw her as an effective and ruthless new hire, but they greatly underestimated her spycraft. This Employee of the Month secretly fed intel to the Resistance, which monumentally weakened the enemy's hold on the sprawl. Lieutenant Stryker's execution was immediately scheduled by the enemy. However, before she could be hanged, she disappeared from prison. Cries of "Viva la Goblution!" were heard in the vicinity of the dungeon, and although she hasn't been seen, it is believed that she is in hiding, assisting the insurgency. Malcolm disappeared, as did a not insignificant sum from the palace treasury. Meanwhile, rumors out of Fireball Canyon tell of a new circus, the most outrageous and lavish circus the world has ever seen. The rumors also tell of its charismatic ringleader and the fish he wears on his belt. Dr. Beatrix von Matterhorn's body was never recovered. Since her presumed death, Lil has been having the most vivid dreams of Dr. B, traveling through alternate versions of the sprawl. In these dreams, the lost scientist seems to be trying to tell her something, but Lil can never remember exactly what it is upon waking. Lil and Hamish continue to live above the Twisted Sisters Tavern. They were able to purchase new furniture and a second outfit, thanks to a gift from the palace for Lil's role in saving the world.
Oh, und ein zweites Outfit. Das ist auch
Lil
geil.
continued to cover for her dad at the guard shed, and he continued placing bets on Goblin Ball games. Customer surveys indicate that Lil has become somewhat better at the job.
Also sie übernimmt.
What about old Echo the Wanderer, you ask? Well, that's me! I'll continue to chronicle the happenings of the sprawl, from the migration of the birds to the illegal fish fights down at the docks. So remember, when you get a snoot full of pungent peace blossom in your nose, I'll be there. When you overorder pizza at your place of business and people are invited to take some home, I'll be there. And when the next calamity threatens the lives of the good people of the sprawl, I'll be there.
Ist immer da. Genauso wie die Dimensionsretter. Wir sind immer da. Aber wie schon gesagt, es ist ein geiles Spiel. Ich wünsche mir eigentlich so Ich will mir eigentlich so sehr einen zweiten Teil. Hat Spaß gemacht. War auch stellenweise echt lustig. Also, so, warum nicht? Ich steht's zu kaufen. Ich steht's auf jeden Fall aufnehmen. Hat irgendwie was für den Kopf. Und ist für mich eine gute Vorbereitung für ja. Es war ein gutes Spiel, es hat Spaß gemacht. Es hat eigentlich mich komplett abgeholt. Komplett. Es hat mich komplett abgeholt. Das ist das Schöne. Wir hätten vielleicht den Comic-Con 3000 vielleicht mehr benutzen sollen. Aber so wie ich bin, ich benutze eigentlich nicht so großartig. Ich habe ja ihn nur benutzt, um besser zu sagen. Also nur in Notfälle. Ich habe auch den Soundtrack gekauft von dem. Muss nur noch irgendwie und irgendwann mal bei Minecraft Alice bauen. Aber ich steht, wenn ihr das selber spielen wollt, oder bei Steam.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Well, I guess you are home. But in case you're not, go.
Es war nicht schlecht. Auch das Intro war jetzt auch nicht so lang. Also, ja, das war's von diesem Projekt. Wir sehen uns wieder beim nächsten Projekt. Und zwar bei Sherlock Haus. Da freue ich mich drauf. Das wird auch noch ein bisschen gehen. Und wir sehen uns dann dort wieder. Und denkt immer dran. Ich als Torwache ist manchmal keine gute Idee. Oder Hochzeitsplaner. Ich bin überhaupt kein guter Hochzeitsplaner. Also, ne. Aber ich wünsche euch eine wunderschöne Zeit. Bis zum nächsten Projekt.